episode 4, Worms. So, there will be spoilers for the episode, as well as every episode of the show leading up to it. The episode is rated TVMA, so will this video be another episode I love. Before I get into it, just very briefly, wanted to note, if you haven't already, make sure you check out Queen Coke Francis' video on... It feels so silly to say out loud. Hetero Awesome Fest. Francis did a fantastic job tearing that motherfucker to pieces. That was wonderful. Real quick, I wanted to make sure to get the name right. No Way No How did a video called There Is No Immigration Crisis. Never was. Fantastic video. Absolutely make sure to watch it. Yes. So, this episode, love one of these, you know, I think the show is really, really good at something that's important, and a lot of these shows, to just laser focus on just one character, have a few other characters around that they can bounce off of. Play off, I think that's the right term, yeah. And just, yeah, explore them, you know. Yeah, absolutely wonderful. If nobody has done it yet, I would like to request that someone dub over the scene, the first bit with Sid on the phone with Shapiro. Dub it over so that it's Ben Shapiro on the other end. I decided against, but I want you to know it pains me. I think I've overdone the Shapiro jokes because at the end of the day, it's not that fucking funny. It's just the same name. I just really can't stand Ben Shapiro because he's so fucking ridiculous for so many reasons. And I really like making fun of him, but I don't want my jokes to get stale. So I decided against, yeah. Let's see. I think, yeah, just final thought on that. I guess Very Tall Bart doesn't really do, like, he doesn't dub over scenes. He more, like, edits them. But I think he could do a really, really solid job on a Shapiro dub. I'm Ben. Anyway, yes. I wish I remember what that Whoopi Goldberg movie was called. It looked like fun. And I think I've seen it before. I feel like I recognized the bit where she's confronting the security guard. Yeah, used to watch a lot of Whoopi Goldberg back in, like, late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, I'm not... I think that she's said some pretty silly things in real life. On The View, I think it was, you know, like that time where she was like, oh, you know, fuck, who was it? There was some, was it, there was some like, the wife of some politician, and she was like, oh, I hear that, you know, she's a really good doctor, and then one of the others points out, she's not like a medical doctor, though, she has a doctorate, you know, and it's like, I'm sorry, but please do your fucking research, you know, just... I know, coming from me. But I like her in movies a lot. Like a lot. Anyway, I think that does, yeah. This episode has some of my favorite stuff of this show so far. I think we've all, like, tried to talk our way out of something and then ended up agreeing, and it sounds completely ridiculous. You know, yeah. And you know, it's, well, you know, maybe she could be there in 2 hours, and then she still shows up late, which, you know, we understand how that happened, you know, but yeah. I will say, when she showed up and he was like, you know, almost missed us, something like that, you know, I was thinking, like, was she trying to, like, because, you know, she clearly is really unsure about this decision. I know it's an old joke, but it does always tickle me when, because, you know, she walks in and you hear MOP's Annie Up playing. And then he's like, did you hear this guy? Okay, MOP, two guys. So, I don't know what... Yeah, I've said it before. I like that. I really, really enjoy Annie Up. And in general, MOP. Welcome to Brooklyn is also great, and Cold as Ice, but yeah, and Shapiro, this kind of mild mannered, fair skinned dude who's like into, this kind of intense rap music. Just I don't know, I always kind of chuckle when I see, such. Yes, I chuckle every single time I shave, which hasn't been a lot recently. I'll get around to it eventually. But yeah, and he hands her the aux cord, O cord. I don't know how you say that. I've only read the meme. I mean, it's short for auxiliary, I believe, but it's like French, isn't it? And I believe they say O when it's like UX. I'm getting way too into this. Gonna move on. Yeah, she puts on some classical, or possibly light classical. Um, and yeah, she does kind of just correct everyone, doesn't she? Oh, Mozart, Beethoven. And later in the episode also, yeah, we meet the her cousin and the cousin's daughter, and yeah, I have heard that, like, this thing of, you know so if I understand correctly, it's especially like the barber shop. But in general, like, hair is important to a lot of black people. It's a part of black culture. Um, I don't know if they talk more to the hairdresser, or is that just like a general thing when you're at the hairdresser? I couldn't say for sure. And I quite like it was pretty fun when the cousin, like, answers the phone and speaks this very polite professional manner, and right before and right after she talks normally, and it's such a silly thing that you know on the phone with a customer you can't just be yourself, but sadly that's true for a lot of jobs. Let's see, I think that pretty well gets us to... Yeah, and it was pretty funny, the thing about, TJ, come down with the hair. And, TJ says we don't have any. And so, cousin goes up there, I raised you better than this. You can't be rude like this. And then she comes down. She's so rude. She's right, though. There's no hair. That's, yeah. Very, very credible parent-kid, interaction there. Yeah, and she's like, well, I gotta go, buy some. Watch Tasha for me. And yeah, Sid is like, okay. She turns out to be a better than expected babysitter. Like, there was a little bit of rough patch early on, but yeah, overall, yeah, good advice, and she does really listen and try to take care of this kid, and I don't know if it's like, it's probably more like a professional pride kind of thing, that she's like, we're not ordering a pizza, I get, well, maybe also money thing, but yeah, that's not, you know, let's see, yeah, her going up there, and TJ's like, why are you so loud, and just saying hi, call me if you need me. And then she calls immediately, which is really funny. Like, just, yeah. And yeah, we do also find out, she has babysat for TJ before. It's just maybe been a little while, and yeah, them going to the store. I will say it was an interesting directorial choice to have there's this bit where the what's it called? We see through like the security camera, we see them. I thought that they were gonna be confronted by someone who works there who's like saying, oh, they're trying to shoplift or something, but I don't know. It was just a bit of stylistic flair. That works too. But yeah, the thing about can we have these? No, they're bad for you. Yeah, I remember you used to eat them all the time. You ate so much this one time that your teeth hurt. Yeah, that's why I stopped. That's such a fun, relatable. Yeah, I've definitely been on TJ's side of that. I forget if I've ever been on Sid's side. I have not babysat very much in my life. Um, don't really have a problem with it. Just hasn't really happened very much. But the yeah, um, the I will say, she was like, wow, you really. Yeah, the thing about we don't have shit. I don't think your mother would like that word. She doesn't give a shit. Wow, you really don't have shit. And just like I thought you'd at least have hamburger helper. And TJ's like, what's hamburger helper? And it's like, TJ doesn't even know what hamburger helper is. What is hamburger helper? I'm not American. I'm guessing it's the thing you're supposed to know if you're an American. Anyway, the let's see. So yeah. They go shopping and they come home yeah, this whole conversation about new new kids at the or new trying to make new friends at the school, and this thing of like should she go to this sleepover because it's just a pity invite in invipity pivity. And yeah, the thing about you got in trouble for solving the for doing the thing right, and it's like, yeah, sadly I've heard that happen a bunch in American schools. It's seriously fucked. Let's see. I think like I've been in situations where I was like, well, this is the right answer, and like sometimes the teacher didn't like admitting that they were obviously wrong, but they didn't like punish me for it. Jesus. Yeah, I think let's see. Yeah, the she starts cooking, and it does end up looking really, really good. No wonder, the cousin also wants a bowl. Yeah, the thing about, I there's I actually there's two sleepovers, and Tasha's like, TJ's like, that's the op. Shit, have I been? I know that the 11-year-old is named TJ. I hope I haven't been fucking up. Tasha's the cousin. Fuck, I can't believe I'm. But yeah, my memory's getting real shitty for new information, especially names. Recently, yeah. TJ, is like, that sounds like the opposite of my problem though, and the talk about just, yeah, So I can't help but wonder about the first place, the stinky place. It's not stinky. It sounds stinky. Does your mom know that you watch Aaron Sorkin? And yeah, the I like that there at the end. TJ says, like basically reveals, I know you were talking about workplaces. I'm 11. I'm not 5. Just yeah. And yeah, it's a good way to get, because like obviously Sid can't say this to Shapiro or Carmi, at least not right now, maybe by the end of the episode. So this is a way to have her spell out what she's thinking about these things. And yeah, it is basically like, we want her to stay at the bear because like emotionally, but like logically we do appreciate, yeah, it is kind of, it seems like Shapiro's place might be a better, yeah. That was also such a, the bit where he's like, just so you know, I'm not like gonna, it's not like I'm hiring you and then everybody else who works in the kitchen is gonna look like me, unless that's what you want. He's adorable. He's a people pleaser, Um, let's see. I think I relate. Anyway, I think that right. Also the bit where Sid talks about the training, and it's like she's the words she's saying are that she likes the idea that they would have a training program, but like her face and her tone, like you can tell she's actually like, I'm really gonna miss Marcus if I actually go with Shapiro. It's such a great. It's wonderful when you in a piece of media can do two things at the same time, because like Shapiro hears, oh, that's she. We're on the same page about the training program. She might actually agree to work here. We're set. And yeah, just because she can't even fully engage at that point in the episode, at least, with the idea of working for Shapiro, because like the people of the bear, I think that does pretty well get us to the yeah, there at the end she calls him and says, paperwork. So sounds like she is seriously, oh god, yeah. I really, really hope that I mean, obviously, first and foremost, I want the character to be happy. Um, I am really gonna miss Ayo Edibiri if she actually leaves the show. I guess they could have scenes at Shapiro's if she does choose to work there, but also just the way she plays off the others. I am really, really gonna miss scenes between her and Carmi and or Richie if she really, yeah. Um, but yeah. Um, I liked the bit with the I guess that pretty well gets us to when she got right. The phone call, and she's like, "Well, pop quiz, hotshot. What are you gonna do?" And she she calls, and then it's like, well, who else is coming to the So it's yeah. Um, and which yeah, I mean that does sound like maybe. I'm afraid I didn't catch the name, but the other person was like feeling bad about getting TJ in trouble or something, or yeah, I mean that can sometimes be like lead to reconciliation between at least budding friends. Um, yeah, I thought they did a really good job on Sid at first. Like she does kind of fuck up with the I mean sometimes your friends are just the cruelest. They really just fuck you over and like you know make you drop the thing that was worked on for a really long time. They won't apologize and just keep saying you didn't say behind, you didn't say behind, and then you accidentally stab them in the ass. And it's like, I mean, I don't like violence, but it was pretty funny nonetheless. And I'm sorry, we were talking about your friends, I think. But yeah, clearly she's thinking about the bear. She's and yeah, I'm sorry. Maybe don't tell an 11-year-old who's already like, I don't know about these people. I don't think these people even like me. I don't know if I can be friends with them. Maybe don't tell them. Oh, friends, super cruel, just like the fucking worst. Like, yeah, don't get me started. That's not the yeah. Because it seems like this is it's very important for her to have friends. It's at age 11 you really shouldn't be, you know, completely without friends. And if there's a chance that really seems like it could work out, yeah. But she fixes it, once they get to the store itself. I also like that, there by the end, she's eating some more of the candy, and again, her teeth hurt. Um, I think that might just about... What's left? Right. So the cousin comes home and, you know, she has the hair and ends up, you know, going... Yeah, she fixes the... That was also a thing, like, for a little while, you know, Sid is wearing the hat when out. And then, you know, we also saw her wearing it with Shapiro earlier. And I was thinking, oh, did it end up not with her not getting the hair? I don't know if that was like a purposeful misdirect or it's just, yeah. Sometimes I read too much into things. I think that does, yeah. You know, we hear that Sid has also been, you know, not spending enough time with her personal, like her friends and family. You know, the thing about, you know, 6 months, and she's like, no, 3 weeks from now. So not this, but that two from the next. You know, yeah. And, you know, even says, you know, no, text her, and then, you know, you'll have a witness, and we can all go. And that was also great, the way they relate and they talk about, oh, she's gonna get really drunk, you know, and just, yeah, it's really nice to see some of these characters happier than we see them a lot of the time. And also, I think one of the things that maybe helped her decide to call Shapiro and talk paperwork, the yeah, the thing about she checks her messages, text messages, and Carmi like wrote 5 times. It's like, there's a situation. Oh no, never mind, it's fixed. Nope, it's worse than we thought. The facts are on it, and this stuff, you know, just, and it's like, yeah, it really is a mess. Even if it does have a, what did she say, a charming musk or something like that. So not Elon, obviously. And his daughter doesn't go by Musk, but she's bursting with charm. Or is it charisma? I can never remember. But yeah, she's awesome. If you haven't watched, oh fuck, what was she did an interview. She's done more than one, but she did one with Matt. I'm sorry. I think if you type the, you know, her name and then Matt in, you'll probably find it. But yeah, that was great. She's yeah, it really is like she's a much better, sweeter person than Musk could ever hope to be. As long as he continues this fucking right wing shit. Anyway, I think I like to believe that he could still turn it around. It'll just take a lot of doing good to prove that he really has, but, you know, there's still time. Right, and to be clear, I'm not saying you have to, like, forgive him. That's, you know, up to you. Yeah, so yes, you know, Sid's cousin comes home, and, you know, she forgot the phone. That's, you know, why she didn't call, and you know, she went to Adidas and all this, you know, and she says, oh, you know, Christian was, you know, doing extra shifts so that he could, you know, take her on a trip. And then Sid's like, you know, oh, but I mean, you could come by the bear, you know. I mean, wouldn't that cost as much or more than the trip, the vacation? But anyway, I think that might just about cover. Yeah, I really appreciate it. They talk, you know, Sid talking about, well, you know, I mean, she doesn't say his name, but she's obviously on about Carmi when she says, you know, I suppose that could apply to both of them because Carmi does sometimes also talk a lot, but yeah, that's Shapiro. The best at video games. You know, she's talking about Carmi being one of the best chefs, and yeah. I think that covers the entire episode. Yeah, really, really great stuff. I think I will just close with one of the funniest and truest statements of the episode and the show so far. Pizza is special.